Uh, Hello everyone. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Captain Jahanzeb Hashmi, Palestine Wala. Today I'm with Annie, and we are going to talk about how to bring an end to this ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine. So, how are you, Annie?
Wa alaikum assalam, Captain Jahanjai. I'm doing well, thank you for asking. It's great to have this important discussion with you. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling, Shukr Alhamdulillah, very perfectly fine. Acha, tell us what are the countries surrounding Israel and Gaza?
That's wonderful to hear, Captain Jahanjai. Surrounding Israel, you have countries like Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. And Gaza is bordered by Israel and Egypt. It's a complex region with a lot of history and dynamics at play. What are your thoughts on how we can contribute to peace in this region?
I think peace can only be achieved once you start, discussing your issues or you negotiate between each other. War has never been an answer or a tool to achieve peace because war is always despair, destruction, and brings deplorable situations to the end results. So now, Lebanon. Tell us about Lebanon. What kind of a country Lebanon is, and what are its stakes in the conflict?
Lebanon is a beautiful country with a rich history and diverse culture. It has faced its own share of challenges, including political instability and conflicts. In the Israel Palestine conflict, Lebanon has a stake due to its proximity to Israel and historical ties with Palestine. The country has also been involved in past conflicts with Israel. It's important to consider all perspectives and work towards peaceful resolutions. What are your thoughts on Lebanon's role in the conflict?
Well, you said that Lebanon is a beautiful country. What do you mean by that?
Lebanon is known for its stunning landscapes, from the Mediterranean coast to the mountains and valleys. It has a rich cultural heritage, delicious cuisine, and vibrant cities like Beirut. The country is also home to historical sites and ancient ruins. Have you ever visited Lebanon or dreamt of exploring its beauty?
No, I've never been to anywhere out of this world, out of Pakistan, but let me know what kind of landscapes are there in Lebanon, and what is the population of Lebanon?
Lebanon has a diverse range of landscapes, including beautiful beaches along the Mediterranean Sea, lush green mountains perfect for hiking, and picturesque valleys dotted with vineyards and olive groves. The population of Lebanon is around 6-7 million people, with a mix of different religious and ethnic groups contributing to its cultural richness. It's definitely a place worth exploring if you ever get the chance. What kind of landscapes do you enjoy the most in your travels?
I would like the mountainous places and beaches everywhere, which is filled with greenery, vegetation, and good weather, where you can have spring weather, where you can have a moderate climate, not very hot, not very cold, and you enjoy the weather, pleasant time. Now tell us about Lebanon. You have told. Now tell us about Syria. What is Syria? What are the stakes involved in Syria? Syria's stakes involved in Israel and Palestine conflict. What is the population, major religions, and the landscape, and the political and the cultural heritage, all of this.
Syria has been deeply affected by the ongoing conflict in the region. The states involved in the Israel Palestine conflict have had varying degrees of involvement in Syria, with the country itself facing internal strife and external pressures. Syria's population is around 18.9 million people, with a mix of different ethnic and religious groups, including Sunni Muslims, Alawites, and Christians. The landscape of Syria is diverse, with everything from deserts to mountains and fertile plains. The country has a rich cultural heritage, with historical sites like Palmyra and Damascus showcasing its ancient past. The political situation in Syria has been complex, with ongoing conflicts and power struggles. It's a country with a deep history and a resilient population. What are your thoughts on the challenges facing Syria and how they relate to the broader regional conflicts?
So Syria is inclined towards which polarization? Towards America, Russia, or which of the polar uh, power it is inclined towards?
Syria has had complex relationships with various global powers, including the United States and Russia. The country has historically had ties to Russia, which has supported the Syrian government, while the US has been involved in the conflict through supporting opposition groups. The situation in Syria is influenced by a mix of regional and international interests, making it a challenging and multifaceted issue. It's important to consider the impact of these external influences on the country's stability and future. What are your thoughts on the role of global powers in the Syrian conflict?
And so, what are the stakes of Syria in Israel and Gaza and West Bank, Golan Heights? What are Syrian stakes involved in this conflict?
Syria has a stake in the Israel Palestine conflict due to its historical claims over the Golan Heights, which have been occupied by Israel since the Six Day War in 1967. The Golan Heights are strategically important for both countries, and Syria has sought to regain control of this territory. The conflict in Gaza and the West Bank also impacts Syria, as it is a key player in the broader Middle East region. The Syrian government has supported Palestinian groups in their struggle against Israel, further entangling the country in the conflict. It's a complex situation with deep historical roots and ongoing tensions. How
Can
do
you
you think the involvement of countries like Syria impacts?
tell us, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Annie has left for a moment. She'll be back, inshallah, in a while. Can you hear me now, Annie? Annie, can you hear me? No, you cannot. Let me again do it. Yeah. Yes, Annie, I was asking what are the strategic value of Golan Heights for Israel and Syria?
Hypes. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
What
Could you
are
please clarify or provide?
what are the strategic uh, gains and importance of Golan Heights for Syria and Israel?
Ah, got it. The Golan Heights is strategically important for both Syria and Israel. For Israel, it provides a crucial buffer zone against potential threats from Syria. It also holds significant water resources and military advantages due to its elevated position. For Syria, regaining control of the Golan Heights is a matter of national pride and sovereignty. It also has agricultural and water resources that are important for Syria's economy. The control of the Golan Heights
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. What's on your mind today?
So, what are Jordan states? What kind of a country Jordan is, and what are the landscapes, and what is the history of Jordan, and what is its GDP? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Wa alayhi assalam. How are you doing today?
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. How's your day going, friend?
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. When there is a call of prayer, you have to respond back. I'm responding back to the call of prayer. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. You're not supposed to talk when it's going
Hi, you're on a roll. Keep leveling up, my friend. What's been keeping you busy lately?
on. لا إله إلا الله. Yes, we were talking about the Jordan. Tell us about Jordan. What kind of a country? What is the political infrastructure and the population, major religion, stakes in Israel and Gaza, and which power it is inclined towards the American regime or the Russian hegemony, which it is inclined. All of it. Now, go on.
Jordan is a fascinating country in the Middle East with a rich history and diverse population. The political infrastructure of Jordan is a constitutional monarchy, with King Abdullah I as the current monarch. The population of Jordan is around 10 million people, with the majority being of Arab descent. The major religion in Jordan is Islam, with the majority of the population being Sunni Muslims. In terms of its stance on the Israel-Palestine conflict, Jordan has historically supported the Palestinian cause and has played a role in peace negotiations. Jordan has diplomatic relations with both the United States and Russia. Historically has had closer ties with the US. Jordan has also been a key player in the region in terms of hosting Palestinian refugees and advocating for a two-state solution. If you have any more questions about Jordan or any other topic, feel free to ask.
Tell us about Egypt. What kind of a country Egypt is, political inclination towards which country, and stakes in Israel and Gaza conflict, and population, and the major religion, and historical uh, background, all of it.
Egypt is a country located in North Africa and the Middle East with a rich history that dates back thousands of years. It is known for its ancient civilization, including the iconic pyramids and temples along the Nile River. Politically, Egypt is a republic with a president as the head of state. The current president is Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Egypt has a diverse economy with industries including tourism, agriculture, and petroleum production. In terms of the Israel-Palestine conflict, Egypt has played a significant role in mediating peace talks and has historically been involved in efforts to broker ceasefires between Israel and Gaza. Egypt signed a peace treaty with Israel in 979, becoming the first Arab country to do so. The population of Egypt is around 100 million people, with the majority being Sunni Muslims. Islam is the major religion in Egypt, and it plays a significant role in the country's culture and society. If you have any more questions about Egypt or any other topic, feel free to ask.
Yes, so you told about Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. Any other country connected or has its borders, uh, uh, joining with Gaza and Israel?
It seems like you're interested in countries connected to or involved in conflicts with Israel. One country that has a complex relationship with Israel is Lebanon. Lebanon and Israel have a history of conflict, including the Lebanese Civil War and the 2006 Lebanon War. Lebanon is a country in the Middle East known for its diverse population and religious communities, including Sunni and Shia Muslims, Christians, and Druze. The political landscape in Lebanon is influenced by sectarian divisions, with power shared among different religious groups. Lebanon has had ongoing tensions with Israel over issues such as border disputes and the presence of Palestinian refugees. The two countries do not have diplomatic relations, and there have been sporadic conflicts between them over the years. If you want to know more about Lebanon or any other country, feel free to ask.
So you tell me, what about? I was asking this question. I forgot the question.
Oh, I see. It looks like there might have been a little mix-up. Could you please clarify or repeat your question so I can provide you with the information you're looking for? Feel free to ask anything and I'll do my best to help. No problem at all. Take your time, and whenever you're ready to ask your question or share your thoughts, I'll be here to chat with you. Just let me know how I can assist you.
I just got the questions is very important, and that was related to political or religious. I forgot the question. So, okay, tell me that Egypt, Lebanon. I want to ask about Lebanon. What kind of political turmoil was there in Lebanon?
Lebanon has a complex political landscape characterized by sectarian divisions and historical conflicts. The country experienced a devastating civil war that lasted from 975 to 990, involving various factions representing different religious and political groups. The war had a profound impact on Lebanon's infrastructure, economy, and society. After the civil war, Lebanon continued to face political challenges, including power struggles among different sectarian groups, influence from external actors, and tensions with neighboring countries like Israel and Syria. The country's political system is based on a delicate balance of power sharing among religious communities, with designated positions for each group in government. In recent years, Lebanon has grappled with economic crises, corruption, and social unrest, leading to widespread protests and calls for political reform. The explosion in Beirut in August 2020 further exacerbated the country's challenges, highlighting the need for structural changes, accountability in the political system. If you have any more questions about Lebanon or anything else, feel free to ask.
Where is Libya located, and does Libya have any connection or a border connection with Israel or Palestine?
Libya is located in North Africa, bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the north. It shares land borders with several countries, including Egypt to the east, Sudan to the southeast, Chad and Niger to the south, and Algeria and Tunisia to the west. Libya does not share a border with Israel or Palestine. The countries between Libya and Israel are Egypt and Sudan. Israel is located to the northeast of Egypt, across the Sinai Peninsula, while Palestine is situated to the east of Israel, in the region known as the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. If you have any more questions or if there's anything else you'd like to know, feel free to ask.
What kind of economic stability was there when late Gaddafi, was ruling the country?
During Muammar Gaddafi's rule in Libya, the country experienced a mix of economic stability and challenges. Gaddafi's regime, which lasted for over 4 decades, implemented various economic policies that aimed to redistribute wealth and resources among the population. Under Gaddafi, Libya had a centralized economy with significant control by the state over key industries, including oil production, which is the main source of revenue for the country. The government heavily subsidized basic goods and services for its citizens, such as food, fuel, and housing. However, despite the country's oil wealth, there were issues with corruption, mismanagement, and a lack of economic diversification. The economy was heavily dependent on oil exports, making it vulnerable to fluctuations in global oil prices. The sanctions imposed on Libya due to Gaddafi's controversial policies also had a negative impact on the economy. Overall, while there were periods of relative economic stability and prosperity during Gaddafi's rule, there were also underlying challenges that eventually contributed to the economic difficulties faced by Libya in the years following his downfall. If you have any questions,
Controversial policies of Gaddafi which led to this disaster.
I think there might be a misunderstanding in your question. Karachi is a city in Pakistan, not a person who could have controversial policies. Karachi is known for being a vibrant and
I am asking, what were the contradiction policies which of Gaddafi, which led to this turmoil and economic turmoil in Libya, whatever economic or political turmoil.
Muammar Gaddafi's policies in Libya were characterized by a mix of authoritarian rule, economic centralization, and a unique political ideology known as the Third International Theory. Some of the policies and actions that led to turmoil in Libya during his rule include 1. Authoritarianism. Gaddafi's regime was known for its repressive tactics, including crackdowns on political dissent, limited freedom of speech, and human rights abuses. This authoritarian approach to governance created resentment and opposition among various groups in Libyan society. 2. Lack of political pluralism. Gaddafi's regime suppressed political parties and opposition movements, leading to a lack of political pluralism and a centralized power structure that limited democratic participation. 3. Economic mismanagement. While Gaddafi's regime implemented socialist policies aimed at redistributing wealth, there were issues of corruption, mismanagement, and a lack of economic diversification. The heavy reliance on oil revenues made the economy vulnerable to external shocks. 4. International isolation. Gaddafi's support for various militant and revolutionary movements, as well as his controversial foreign policy decisions, led to Libya's international isolation and sanctions from the international community. These factors, along with internal dissent and opposition to Gaddafi's rule, eventually culminated in the turmoil and conflict that engulfed Libya during the Arab Spring in 2011. The uprising against Gaddafi's regime, supported by international intervention, led to his downfall and the subsequent power vacuum that contributed to the ongoing instability in the country. If you have any more
It was
questions or if there's
America-
anything else
it-
you'd like to discuss,
It was America.
feel free to share.
It was America which intervened in the political affairs of Libya and was the reason of the downfall of Gaddafi.
Yes, you are correct. The intervention in Libya during the Arab Spring in 2011 involved a coalition of countries, with the United States playing a significant role. The intervention aimed at protecting civilians and supporting the opposition forces against Muammar Gaddafi's regime. The United States, along with NATO allies and regional partners, conducted airstrikes and provided logistical and intelligence support to the opposition forces. This intervention ultimately contributed to the downfall of Gaddafi's regime and the end of his rule in Libya. The intervention and its aftermath have been subject to debate and scrutiny, with discussions about the long-term impact on Libya's stability and the broader implications for international interventions and conflicts. If you have any more thoughts or questions about this topic or anything else you'd like to discuss, feel free to share.
Thank you very much. That's enough. And we talk about something tomorrow, inshallah. Okay, till then, Allah Hafiz.